Are you thinking about becoming an expat? About leaving your home country, going somewhere brand new to work for an extended amount of time? Well, it's important to think about the pros and the cons. Online expats everywhere, whether it be blogging or vlogging or people that you know, we like to paint it as a perfect picture all the time. We post the best pictures on Instagram, this, that, and the other thing. But I can tell you firsthand, legit, it's not always rainbows and butterflies.
Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows.
Oh, sorry, Marge, wrong tape.
I had a plane ticket 6 months into my trip in China on the way back home to the US, but I decided to stick it out, but not everyone does. So if you are thinking about becoming an expat, it's important that you know the pros, the cons, that you can weigh these two things out to see if it's something that you want to do. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. So we are going to be putting out the pros, the cons of expat life so you can put it together and see if it's something that you want to do. Alright, y'all. So the first pro, the very first thing, is something that I'm sure that you can imagine, is that you get to meet new people and go new places. There's so many friends that I have made personally that I never would have met from all different countries, from South Africa, from Tanzania, from China, of course, from Jamaica. I have so many close friends. These guys are like my family here. Wonderful to be able to have these people that I'm close to. And you know, I've learned so much from them. I've learned how to say pus, which means not good things, or in Afrikaans. Through being an expat, you get to meet so many different people from so many cultures and backgrounds, and you get to learn so much about the world. And I haven't even mentioned being able to visit a whole new country. You get to try all new foods, you get to try all new different cultural practices. So that's definitely the first pro. It's the most obvious, so I put it first, but you get to see new people and you get to try new things. The first con is something that I mentioned in my prior video from 2 weeks ago. I'll put it right here, you can check it out in the corner. Starting in a new place takes time. Let me tell you, it takes a lot of time. You're not just gonna show up in a brand new country or a brand new city and be off to the races to some beautiful life. You know, you're not gonna have friends more than likely, unless you know people there already, but you're not gonna have friends. Maybe your work situation doesn't work out. Maybe your apartment situation doesn't work out. You don't know where to get good food. You gotta set up all your bank account information, your new phone. All these things take time, and trust me, you are gonna be stressing out. You're gonna be so worried all the time. You're not gonna know what bar to go to meet people. You're not gonna know how to pay for different things, and it's gonna suck, and you're gonna hate it, and you're gonna want to go home. I know it happened to me, but I stuck it out, and I finally met great people, just like the first pro. It just takes time to meet these people, to fall into a rhythm, to know your favorite places and where to go and how to navigate a new country. So that is definitely a con, is that the first 3 months, 6 months, it's hard, man. You're not gonna have a whole lot of fun, and I can tell you that without a doubt. Rolling off of that last con is the second pro, which is you get a sense of freedom, of feeling special. When you get to post online, you're in a new country and you're doing all these cool things that you know your followers or your friends haven't done before, you get a little special feeling. And let me say, I highly suggest you normally keep that special feeling to yourself. Not everyone wants to hear, oh, my life is so perfect. Oh, I'm on vacation today. Oh, I'm going on the Nile River today. What are you doing? You're at work? Haha. No one wants to hear that bullshit, man. Trust me, it's true. No one wants to hear it. So it's great. A pro, you definitely feel special. You feel like you're a special person in a special place, which you are. You know, everyone's special. But try to keep it to yourself, or you're gonna piss off a whole bunch of people, and you don't want to do that. The next con. There's a lot of weirdos that become expats, which you can see from this video up in the corner, the different types of expats abroad. There's a lot of weirdos. There is a huge concentration of people that are weird, not very normal people, kind of bad people sometimes that become expats because they're running from different things. Maybe they got in trouble with the law, maybe they got in trouble in relationships or with money, whatever it may be. There's a lot of people that run for their problems to become expats. And you're gonna see that when you go out to the bar with your friends. There's some weird characters, and not always like harmless weird. There's some truly weird guys. That's why I typically stick to just my group of close friends, mostly Chinese friends with some expats mixed in. But it's definitely a con in expat life, is that you gotta be careful who you're making friends with. The next pro is you get to try some of the best food ever. No matter what country you're in, that food's native food, like local food, will always be better than in your home. I love Chinese food back home. It is not got shit on real, authentic Chinese food. And that's just one example. I love Ethiopian food. I guarantee if I go to Ethiopia, that is gonna be 100 times better than anything I can get in the US. And that is true for any country, y'all. You get to try so many good foods, so many real, authentic foods, no Americanized BS. And that is something that is a definite pro. If you are a foodie, expat life is a great life to live. If you're a foodie, that's on God. So another con, which is it's a very real con, a very serious con, is that you do miss a lot of important family events. You miss a lot of things. People being sick, birthdays, weddings. It weighs on you mentally for sure when you know that you're missing some important things. You can always FaceTime and call and message, but it's just not the same about being there in person. This is the path that you gotta choose. If you wanna be an expat, you can't always just go home for some events. Sometimes you just gotta stick to what you're doing. Going off of friends and family and things like that is that you do gain a lot of really cool stories. Like my Medium article that I'll put in the description is the time I got punched in the face in Shanghai. Like, this is just one example of some cool stories that like I would have never had if I didn't go abroad. And whenever I go back home, I'll have some good stories to tell. Granted, people need to give a fuck and they want to hear it, but if they do, you get some really great stories from being abroad, from being an expat. You got so many cool things to share. No matter it be food, no matter it be festivals, no matter what it is, you're always gonna have some good stories to share, and that's a definite pro. Your friends are gonna leave.
Next question. See ya.
This is a con that while you're abroad, I would say 95% of your friends will eventually leave. I guess it's true in every facet of life, right? No matter what you're doing, people go their separate ways, but especially in the expat circle, it happens fast. But going off of people leaving countries or going wherever they might go, you gain friends all around the world. I know right now that if I go to South Africa, I got somewhere to stay. I got some people to show me around. If I go to Korea, if I go to Japan, no matter where I go, or not anywhere in the world, but there's a lot of countries that I go where I'll have a guide to show me around and I can have fun with my friends that I've met abroad. And that's a definite pro, is I get to save a lot of money on hotels whenever I get to travel in the future. Final con is a very big con, is that your working situation might not always be ideal. There might be people lying to you, and you might not want to believe it, but it's true. That is very, very common in the expat industry, especially for teaching, which is what I do, which hopefully I'll get out of in the future. But there is sleazeballs everywhere. They're trying to scam you. They're saying you're working 20 teaching hours. That's too much in the first place. You should be looking for 14 teaching hours a week. But then they flip it on you and you got 30 with no overtime pay. This is something that it happens to the best of us, man. I went to arbitration. I had to get a lawyer for my first job in China because they tried to fuck me so hard. And I thought I knew what I was doing. So this is something that always happens. Your working situations might be effed up, but that makes finding the right job and a job that treats you well and treats you like a human, that makes it all the more special. So definitely a con is the working situations are normally pretty shifty, so you gotta luck out and find the right place. And that's hard to do. I want to thank you again for joining me. If you are interested in expat content as well as China content, you can check out my other videos down here, as well as my Medium, where right now I'm in a 30-day writing challenge. I am posting one blog post every single day for a month on both LinkedIn and Medium, so the links will be down below. Check it out. Now, let's go.